Blue Jays Nation, the clock is ticking. We're just hours away from a brand new year, and with it, a looming deadline that could send shockwaves through the entire MLB free agent and trade market. Are you feeling the pressure? Because I certainly am. Our Toronto Blue Jays, fresh off a heartbreaking Game 7 loss to the Dodgers in the World Series, are desperate to prove that their deep run wasn't a fluke. They're hungry for that ultimate prize, and everyone knows they need to bolster this lineup to get there. We've heard the whispers, the tantalizing names linked to Toronto: Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Bo Bichette, even international powerhouses like Kazuma Okamoto, and other intriguing options like Kettle Marte, Yoan Moncada, and CJ Abrams. But despite all the talk, the silence has been deafening, leaving us all on the edge of our seats. Now, as we stand on the precipice of 2026, with the posting window for two major Japanese free agents rapidly closing, clarity is finally on the horizon. And the first domino to potentially fall involves a player who could have a massive ripple effect across the league, directly impacting our Blue Jays, Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks. According to D-backs GM Mike Hazen, the Marte situation is reaching its boiling point. Hazen publicly stated, and I quote, "We're very likely to put an end to this shortly. This isn't going to continue to linger. We need to focus on our offseason." This isn't just a casual update, folks. This is a public declaration, a clear message to any team still engaged in trade talks. Make your best offer or move on. The Diamondbacks want resolution, not endless negotiations, so they can focus on their own roster needs, specifically adding a right-handed hitting first baseman or DH. Marte, a 41-home run threat in 2025 with 28 homers, 136 hits, and 72 RBIs in just 126 games, would be an incredible asset for any team. But if he stays in Arizona, as Hazen's gut suggests is likely, it triggers a chain reaction that could directly benefit or hinder the Blue Jays' pursuit of other key targets. The pressure is on, the stakes are incredibly high, and the resolution of Marte's future is about to set off a flurry of activity that could finally give us the answers we've been so desperately waiting for. Get ready, because the offseason stalemate is about to break, and the Blue Jays are right in the thick of it. All right, let's dissect this domino effect, because it's absolutely crucial for understanding the Blue Jays' path forward. If Ketel Marte stays put in Arizona, as GM Hazen strongly implies, it immediately forces other teams to pivot, and the Boston Red Sox are at the top of that list. The Red Sox have been heavily rumored to be major players in Marte's market. If they can't land him, their focus will undoubtedly shift. Their next target could be Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. But if Donovan also proves elusive, then the Red Sox will likely intensify their pursuit of the very same players the Blue Jays are targeting: Bo Bichette and Alex Bregman. This is where the competition gets fierce and the stakes for Toronto skyrocket. But the ripple effect doesn't stop there. We also have the looming deadline for Kazuma Okamoto, the Japanese slugger who has been linked to multiple teams, including the San Diego Padres, Pittsburgh Pirates, the Red Sox, and yes, our Toronto Blue Jays. Okamoto possesses serious power, hitting 41, 27, and 15 home runs in his last 3 seasons, even with a shortened 2025 campaign. If the Red Sox miss out on Marte and potentially Donovan, they become an even bigger threat to sign Okamoto, intensifying the bidding war. Okamoto, along with fellow Japanese free agent Tatsuya Imai, is currently meeting with teams, and their posting windows are closing fast. Imai's on January 2nd and Okamoto's on January 4th. This means we're just days away from a resolution that will further clarify the market. Now let's talk about the big bats still on the board for the Blue Jays: Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, and Cody Bellinger. Why the standstill? MLB insider Jeff Passan in a recent AMA explained it perfectly. What they believe they're worth has not been matched by teams. This is the core issue. Players are holding out for their desired long-term deals, while teams are hesitant to meet those demands. Passan even suggested that at least one will slip between the cracks and go for a shorter-term, opt-out heavy deal. We've seen work for Pete Alonso, Matt Chapman, and for pitchers Blake Snell. This is a critical insight for the Blue Jays. An opt-out heavy deal could be a perfect fit, especially for a player like Bichette, who could have a monster year, prove his health, and re-enter the market at 28. This strategy allows the Jays to win now without committing to an exorbitant long-term deal that might not age well. The same logic applies to Tucker. If he's open to such a deal, it could open up new avenues for Toronto. The entire market is interconnected, and the resolution of Marte and Okamoto situations will undoubtedly accelerate decisions on these other high-profile free agents. The Blue Jays need to be ready to pounce when the dominoes start to fall. Blue Jays Nation, the message is clear. The waiting game is almost over. The next few days are absolutely critical, a make-or-break period that will define the rest of our offseason. The resolution of Kettle Marte's situation, whether he's traded or stays in Arizona, will immediately force the Boston Red Sox and other contenders to pivot, directly impacting the market for Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman, and Kazuma Okamoto. And with Okamoto's posting deadline just days away, we can expect a flurry of activity very, very soon. This isn't just about one player, it's about the entire ecosystem of the free agent and trade market finally springing to life. The Blue Jays front office has been patient, perhaps agonizingly so for us fans, but that patience is about to be tested. They need to be prepared to act decisively. While a long-term deal for a superstar like Kyle Tucker would be ideal, the insight from Jeff Passan about opt-out heavy deals presents a fascinating and potentially game-changing alternative. Imagine the Blue Jays landing a player like Bichette on a shorter, high-value deal with an opt-out. It allows them to bring back a top-tier offensive talent, fill a critical void, and maintain some financial flexibility for future moves. This kind of strategic thinking is exactly what's needed in a market where teams and players are at an impasse. We cannot, under any circumstances, let a top-volume hitter like Bichette or a dynamic talent like Tucker slip away to a rival like the Yankees or Red Sox. Even signing Okamoto, while a great addition, won't fully compensate for missing out on these premier bats. It's all connected, folks. The decisions made in Arizona and Japan over the next 72 hours will directly influence the Blue Jays' ability to land the impact that they desperately need. The ball is about to start rolling, and once it does, expect a whirlwind of action as teams adjust their strategies and pounce on their next best options. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the turning point of the offseason. So, Blue Jays Nation, what's your gut feeling? Will Marte stay put? Will the Red Sox pivot hard to our targets? And most importantly, which of these big bats do you think the Blue Jays must land to solidify their World Series aspirations? Let me know your predictions and your desires in the comments below. Don't just sit there. Be a part of this. If you're ready for some action and believe the Blue Jays are about to make a huge splash, then hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for all the breaking news and analysis as this dramatic offseason unfolds. Let's go, Jays!